For me, it's the best place to live in the whole of London. I was lucky enough to live here for 8.5 years, and I wish I'd never left, actually. It's a fabulous location. So the main terrace of Cadogan Place is stucco, and we're in the garden, and we've got the main terrace behind us. But the northern part of Cadogan Place was the first bit that was built. It's earlier. Because it's earlier, it's only part stucco and mainly brick. It's a bit more congested up that end of the of Cadogan Place, and it's not considered prime. It's a very, very special location because it is, for all intents and purposes, Belgravia, but it's actually in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, so you get the best of both worlds. And also the orientation of the terrace is the opposite of Belgravia per se. Belgravia, the properties are mainly north and south facing, whereas Cadogan Place faces due west. And it's probably the lightest. You're facing due west over these wonderful gardens in which we're currently sitting. And it's probably the lightest green outlook that I know of in central London. For me, it's the best place to live in the whole of London. We met loads and loads of people living here, and particularly in this garden. Got two wonderful tennis courts here. You may be able to hear the tennis ball being hit there. And it was a great amenity. I mean, I've personally seen Boris Becker on the tennis court, Stefan Edberg, and I didn't see him, but apparently even the incomparable Bjorn Borg has graced that tennis court. So, you know, it's a great amenity. Met Tony Curtis here. It's a 7-acre garden. It's a 7-acre garden in the middle of Belgravia and Knightsbridge, and that's extraordinary. There are a few buildings in Cadogan Place which have been laterally converted. There's 46 and 47, 64 and 65, 66 and 67. There's a few, but not very many. And it's a shame, because when they converted these buildings into flats in the sort of late 1940s, early 1950s, they didn't think like that. They didn't think that actually people would prefer to live laterally. Why not knock through? They didn't. The Cadogan estate didn't think like that particularly, and that's why in Cadogan Square also there aren't that many buildings with lateral flats. The Grosvenor estate thought differently. The Grosvenor estate did actually think like that, and that's why in Eaton Square there were lots of lateral flats. It's a shame really that they didn't do more of those in Cadogan Place. But what that means, if you're lucky enough to have one of the laterally converted apartments in Cadogan Place, it's very rare and very special. 30 million should buy you anything you need in Cadogan Place. There are 1 or 2 houses which are wider. There are a couple of key houses in Cadogan Place which are a few feet wider than the others. There's only 2 actually. They would fetch more money.